What is going on, everybody? How are you doing today? Hope you are doing good. Today, I'm coming at you with another topic, one that I feel like is extremely important when trying to, stay in your sobriety or really just kind of life in general. But knowing that not every day is going to be a good day. Not every day is going to be an easy day. I think in the beginning of sobriety, I feel like you have so much that is going for you. You have, you're feeling good that you stopped drinking and you're getting stuff accomplished and it's good. Like you should follow that and run after that. But there are going to be those days that just suck, like you're still going to have bad days. And the thing that you got to try to do is figure out a way to deal with the negative stressors in your life in a positive manner. Some things that work for me is like I like to write them down. I get a lot of aggression out through the gym, through lifting. I have people that I talk to. That's probably one of the best things that I do is I communicate. I try not to keep anything bottled up, because when you have those things that you keep inside and you don't talk to people and share them with people, then they grow and they fester kind of like a wound, and it really helps to like get that weight off. When I first admitted that I was an alcoholic and I was sharing that with people, I can't tell you how great it felt just to have that weight fall off of me, and when I took that first plunge, that was definitely like the big purge. Like I got all the weight off me. But just like cleaning out the cylinders in your car, like degunking them, it'll build back up again, like you gotta, it's a maintenance thing, so you can't allow things to build up again, and communicating has been the most effective way for me to keep my mind clean and light and fresh, and having those people that are close to you in your life. And if you're saying that you might not have people like that, then I implore you to go out and meet people, because there's a lot of people on the planet and there's plenty of people that are willing to be your friends, and that's kind of like the variety and the spice of life, is meeting people and allowing people in, like whether you've been hurt or jaded in the past by other people, those are those people. That shouldn't mean that you give up on having friends in your life. It's some of the best experiences that you'll have is shared with other people, and they provide, it's a symbiotic service that you guys provide. Like friendship works in both directions. And so that's one way that I alleviate the mental weight of all the stressors. And also just being prepared, like we all have friends that pass, that can pass suddenly. It's happened to me a couple times. Or, just even the stresses of like your car breaking down, or you might have gotten fired, or, something that just kind of comes out of nowhere. And those are the ones that are harder to prepare for, because alcohol, at least my alcoholic mindset, is very opportunistic. Like at least it was, and I say that because I really don't have the desire to drink anymore. Like it just is so much a part of what I do daily. Like it's not even an option. It's so tuned in my mind that that I don't want any of that. That it's not even a place that my mind goes to. It just kind of like it disappears eventually, which is wonderful, And in a way, sometimes I even feel like weird running this channel, because it makes me feel like I'm sitting here going like, am I still an alcoholic? Like I don't crave alcohol at all. It's almost turning into this weird distant memory. It's very bizarre for me, and then I have all these videos that I made when I was drunk, and I have the memories, bits and pieces from, when I was super shit-faced, but it's crazy. But anyway, getting back to what I was saying, alcoholism, I feel like is a very opportunistic part when you're trying to justify your drinking. Like, so I had like an acquaintance that, actually had taken his life, but like we weren't super close or anything. And so I used that as an excuse to almost like embellish, what that person meant to me, just to give myself a reason to drink, and it's I mean, looking back, it's not something I'm proud of. It's really shitty to use someone's, death, untimely death, and a really sad one at that, to, justify your own selfish needs, or wants. And so those ones are a little harder to prepare for. But what you can do is prepare for the unprepared, so like have a plan that you do in case something unexpected happens. Have people that you call, or know the place you're going to go that you need to solve something or figure it out. Like running through those scenarios in your mind. I mean, that's the game changer. That's what sets people apart from others, is people that know what they're going to do before it happens, because they've thought about it, they've put themselves in that mind state. It's how great detectives catch serial killers. They think like them. You have to put yourself in uncomfortable situations sometimes just so that you're prepared. I mean, no one feels great about going and buying like a little break my window just in case I'm trapped at the bottom of a lake kit, but you're going to be really fucking happy that you have that if you ever find yourself in that situation. So, but yeah, just having a kind of like a game plan. And then you can also plan for the big ones that you do know are going to come. Both my parents are still alive, but one day they won't be. And so I have to, healthfully think about that from time to time, rather than burying my head in the sand and just saying it's not going to happen, it's not going to happen. I have a 15-year-old cat that is getting older, and that's really hard too, watching him get slower and slumpier and walk around the house. But I've prepared myself, and I know what I'm going to do when that day comes, like rather than just saying no, not yet, and then just having that happen and then being like, well, what do I do now? You have to be prepared for that. And especially alcoholics, like we have to be much more prepared for those situations when they arise, because we don't have the luxury of, falling back on what instinctually we want to do, because instinctually what we want to do are some pretty dumb decisions, so, and just remembering that because you are sober now and you are elevated to this level of kind of glorified normalcy, that doesn't mean that you are completely immune to having shitty days or shitty weeks, like it's still going to happen. Life still happens whether you drink or not, so you just have to be ready for it and know that, and in a weird way, when I do have bad days, at the end of that day, when I'm laying in bed or whatever, I can at least just be like, ugh, what a shitty day, and I can move on to the next day, and I can actually look at it in a somewhat positive manner, knowing that like I still had a shitty day and it didn't cause me to crumble or break or drink or anything, because you just know that no way, shape, or form, however you try to squeeze that in or justify it to yourself, is that what you need, or is that going to help or make anything better whatsoever. You letting yourself down in a time of crisis is the last thing that you should be doing. This is when you need to bunker down and really stay true to your decisions and to yourself. And with you doing that time and time again, it becomes a learned pattern, So when people might think that it's like, oh, I don't have that kind of willpower, you do. You really do. Everyone can have that kind of willpower. You just have to believe that you have that willpower. And I'm not trying to preach some weird mumbo jumbo. Like, I'm just saying that we're all human beings. We're all made out of the same stuff. We all have brains. And I just believed that I could stop drinking. And I truly wanted to. And I wanted it. And then I made that belief a reality. And you can do the same thing, and how I've said in other videos, if you can do one single day, then you can do the rest of your life, And that's my philosophy, and all these videos are just my philosophy, and I don't want to make that clear, because a couple people have hit me up and have been, basically somewhat against my methodology, and I'm like, dude, there's a million different fucking people out there that have quit drinking in a bunch of different ways. This is just the way that works for me, and I just want to share it with people because I'm sure it'll work for a bunch of other people. But yeah, to summarize, just know that it's okay to have bad days. That's normal. It's okay to have days that pulls you in the direction that makes you want to be like, oh God, it'd be so much easier if I could just have a beer. But that's where you have to get in the habit of just reminding yourself that that isn't going to help anything. That isn't going to solve anything. And so I like to just sit with those and just allow them to come and then think, okay, well, what if I did? What if I did just say, fuck it, and I had a beer? What would happen? Immediately, I'd be hit with a tidal wave of regret and shame and disappointment, and I'd feel like I failed myself and those around me and people counting on me, and that would make me probably want to drink more, because I'm like, fuck it, I already did it, like, and that's how my mind works. Well, if I already went a little bit, then fuck it, I might as well do all of it. And I sit with that thought, and then when you open your eyes, you go, but I didn't do any of that. So I still have the opportunity to make the right decision, and then I do that instead. Sometimes taking the thinking out of it helps a lot. It did for me in the beginning too. You know what is the right thing to do, so without thinking, just do that. Don't even allow your mind time to try to process it and rationalize and justify the wrong decision, because that's what your mind is great at doing. You can say in your head, like, back when I used to drink, I'd be like, I'm just going to have 2 beers tonight. That is it. You know it. That is your limit. You're trying to see if you can responsibly drink. And you have one, and you're like, oh, hey, I got one more. But as the booze starts working inside you, it's already thinking, like, what are different ways I'm going to spin this around so I can make sure I can drink indefinitely tonight? And by the time that second beer hit in my head, I knew in my heart and soul, I was like, I'm getting more than this. So you just got to not allow yourself time to even try to, trick yourself, basically, So that's roughly the point of the video, is just to keep yourself prepared. Know that, prepare for the big ones that you can prepare for, and have kind of a game plan, go bag for the unexpected, just kind of a broad template of what you are going to do instead of drinking, and it could be different for everybody. It could be people that you call, a place that you go to, a certain thing that you have to do, isolation chamber, jumping in a hot shower and lighting some candles, or whatever it is you got to do. But you just gotta stay sober and ride that sucker out. It's like getting a big tattoo. You want it and you're gonna love it, but fuck, it can hurt sometimes. But in the end, you're really happy that you did. Anyway, you guys, thank you for watching. Like, share, subscribe. Always appreciate all the feedback. And hope you guys are all doing good. If you feel like there's someone that could benefit from any of these videos, please send them my way. And I look forward to seeing you guys next time. And as always, I always want to say this in the beginning of my videos, but I'm saying them in the end. I don't do a lot of editing. I feel like content is, just kind of the meat and the potatoes of the video anyway. And it makes me more inclined to make more of these. But I know I just kind of sit here and I ramble at the camera. So if you don't want to sit here and look at my ugly mug the whole time, I think it helps a lot to kind of just have me on as background noise, so you can just kind of do things around and listen to me, kind of like a podcast or a song or something while you clean or do the dishes or you're driving or whatever. But don't be on the internet on your phone and not paying attention to the road. Anyway, I'll see you guys next time. Let me know if there is a topic that you would like to hear me do a video on. Otherwise, I'll just see you next time.